Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of
Can
the
you hear me
Project
clearly
Trigger
though?
Meditation School. Yes, and today our guest speaker is Daniel from Nigeria, who is a filmmaker and also a meditation trainer at the World Peace Initiative. Today he will share a bit more about his journey. So yes, hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
I am fine. I'm pretty much fine. We would say Merry Christmas or compliment of the season or Happy
Okay.
Holidays as it is.
Yes. So my first question to you is what inspired you to start both practicing meditation and also teaching meditation in your community?
Okay, I think it was a bit of a personal journey. Personally, I have always loved peace as a person. I love peaceful place, peaceful things. You would always see me around where there needs to be peace, trying to make sure that the community or the people or the my coworkers are, at peace. I usually do not enjoy working wherever there is rifts. You get so it's more or less like a personal journey as a person for me, who is someone who has always been in the help ministry. I used to tell people that my calling is to help, right? That's my calling in life, just to help. And if you find yourself in that calling where your job is to help people, either helping them find themselves or helping them achieve their goals or helping them do whatever they want to do in life, then you would want to be peaceful because without peace, you won't be able to show this stuff. And also, being a Christian as a person, being a Christian, uh, if you are a true Christian, because when you say Christian, it means you are Christ-like, living the life of Christ. If you are a true Christian, then peace should be your watchword, right? You should be able to inspire peace. You should be able to inspire peace and love and all that. So being a Christian, it's also somewhat like a second nature to be peaceful because I believe that my life should be an example to others who I want to, follow peace or follow, even the Bible says follow peace with all men, right? So I want my life to be an example to others so that by looking at me, they will say, oh, what exactly are you doing? Why are you this way? And if I tell them this is why I am this way, they'll be able to, follow my leading easily than when my message and my life is not the same, right? And but personally, I, as a filmmaker, I got to a point in my life where I was going around a cycle for too long, not going forward, not going backward, living well enough to afford my basic needs, but not really achieving the things I want. And most times, when we attach our lives, our happiness to achievements, then we always will be short-handed. We're always going to not be satisfied because these achievements sometimes don't come as we plan them. So at that point in time, I was very, very, very I was at a point in my life where things were not looking good, And so one day I saw a friend's status about uh, joining a peace club, World Peace Initiative, and all that. And I was like, okay, I think I know meditation was actually very new. I haven't even heard of it, but then I know a little bit that maybe you just come close your eyes and probably do nothing. And well, since it was just to come close your eyes and do nothing, I'm like, okay, let me just try this. I mean, I'm really doing nothing at the moment, so why not just further nothing? Yeah, so when I continued, I began to find and experience changes in my life. I started noticing some clarity, started having this clarity of thoughts, calm mind, and all that. And then I began to see pathways to improve my career. And so, as I kept on doing it, I started feeling this way, and it was amazing. And so after I finished my 42 days self-development program, I started and I enjoyed what I was doing. So I kept on doing it. So after I finished, I did the entire thing. And then I was chosen to go to Thailand. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Now that I know and I have experienced this, it would be great if I show and tell others because I am an example of I'm not just preaching a message that I heard from someone. I have experienced it. I know firsthand what meditation can do for you. And so it's easier for me to tell people about it because I have examples in my life that I can draw onto.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. And how is meditation helping also in your work as a filmmaker?
Yeah. So if you know the filmmaking world, it's chaotic. It's chaotic. Like when we say chaotic, it's really chaotic. It's one of those words where the filmmaking words is one of those words where anything can go wrong at any point in time. In fact, you can make all the plans, have all the money, dot all your I's and cross your T's, and things will still go wrong. That's how the filmmaking world is. And with this chaos comes anxiety because you are always expecting the worst. You're expecting that something will go wrong. So you're living on the edge. Even when things are going right, you're living on the edge because you're waiting, you're thinking, oh, yes, this is going on fine, but oh, I pray this doesn't go bad. Oh, because you are for sure not, you don't know exactly what will happen the next minute. So that created a lot of anxiety and all that. And then also working in our own field here in Nigeria, where it is quite uncertain, right? It's very, very uncertain. You tend to develop a lot of anxiety and worry. It just clouds your mind and all that. And so sometimes the thing about anxiety, worries, and all that is that you start transferring aggression to people, right? Somebody does something that is not exactly entirely bad, you spark at that person. You know, most times when you sit back to reflect, you begin to see that the things you have, the way you sparked at that person, it doesn't really merit that level of reaction from you. And so I used to do that a lot, a bit. And because, of course, with the worry, you always find yourself in that state. But then when I started meditating, I started handling issues better. It's not that the issues don't arrive, they do arrive, but I started handling them better because I am usually calm when these issues happen. And so, because I'm not panicking with the rest, I'm able to see the solution quickly. I'm able to bring up suggestions to what to do quickly. I'm able to analyze it, reflect on it, and make decisions easily because my mind is not clouded by anxiety or fear or anger or any of these emotions that would really take over us and change things for us. So in my field, it has really helped me so much so that my crew members, people that work with me, um, they usually wonder how I do it. I get it all the time after every show I do, and they wonder. They'll say, "Boss, we don't get how you are able to stay calm throughout, not losing your cool, not doing anything. Like things will be going wrong around you, and you're just calm and with a smile on your face, and then you are saying, okay, this is the problem. What is the solution? Because so it has helped me stop seeing the problem and start asking the right questions. Right? When things happen on set, I am not asking who did it. I'm asking how can we solve it? Right? That little shift in the kind of question I ask changes everything because it now makes my team believe that, okay, regardless of whatever happens, mistakes are possible. But when they happen, they believe that they have a leader who would not spark at them, who will not do anything, harm them or hurt them or fire them, but would rather seek for the solution. So it's easily solved because when it happens, the person, whoever did it, comes up, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, this was what happened." And by the time you really know that, oh, this is the actual problem, immediately the solutions are coming up. It's harder when your team are afraid of you and they are not telling you that this is the problem or this is what happened. They are hiding because they know that when they say, you will shout at them and all that. For me, it's easier now because they are able to relate with me easily. And it's because I decided to take a shift, or more or less like meditation helped me with calm mind and a reflective mind, that whenever things happen, I am not panicking. I'm so much calm, and it keeps me in control of the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to hear. And maybe were there some meditation challenges that you had initially when you started meditating, and how did you overcome them?
Okay. Personally, I my major challenge in meditation is the wandering thoughts. At first, it
Yeah.
was the sleepy mind, and the wandering thoughts put together. Um, but I think I fixed the sleepy mind with the four routines, right? When we started meditating and we were taught the four routines, which is your bedtime, your wake up time, your exercise time, and the food you eat, both the time and the kind of food you eat. As I started practicing the four routine, which is I try to go to bed early so that I will get enough sleep and wake up very early so that I will get a few hours ahead of other people. By the time people are waking up, I'm already maybe 2 hours gone in my wake up time. I've done things for like 2 hours before others starts waking up at 6, right? And these things I do include both meditation, my prayers, and exercise. And then when others are waking up, I'm already getting ready for other stuff. So it puts me a bit ahead because I get to get enough sleep. And as at when due, I discovered these days that when I meditate, I usually don't have the sleepy mind again. But I used to have the sleepy mind, and it was caused because initially I sleep late, I wake up early, and just like that, and didn't have enough sleep. But now I don't have sleepy mind again. But wandering thoughts is one of the major challenges I have with meditation. And it comes because my mind is always thinking. My mind was trained to always think. And sometimes they are not even thinking, we are worrying, right? Mind is always worrying about what could be or what could not be, what has happened, how it could be better, just always analyzing and thinking. But I try to overcome the wandering thoughts with the mantra most of the time. Whenever I try to, when I am, having doing meditation, and I see that the thought comes and I observe them and I'm not able to let them go, I will just start reciting the mantra so that in my recitation of the mantra, I put my mind to the mantra, the fact that I have to repeat these words over and over and over and over and over, and gradually the thoughts fade away, right? So I think wandering thoughts and the sleepy mind were my initial issues. But I've been dealing with them. I think for the sleepy mind, I do not have a problem with it again. But of course, the mind of humans cannot stop thinking. So wandering thoughts keeps reoccurring, but I deal with it these days with mantra.
Mhm. Okay. And you're also a member of a Buddha Peace Club.
Yeah.
So, what are maybe some lessons that you have learned over this year when leading meditation also to different community groups in your country and in your club? So, maybe some like advice also for new trainers who want to start leading sessions.
Yeah. So what I've realized is that a lot of people see meditation as a religious activity, right? They see it as a Buddhist religion. But we as teachers who understand that you can be in whatever religion that you are and still practice meditation, those of us that have the understanding, have to find a way to bring the message to the people. And so what I've noticed and what I do when I go to places where I want to talk to people about meditation. I observe the crowd, I read the room, right? And I'm able to look at them. Oh, this crowd, is it a mixed multitude? When I mean mixed multitude, is it a crowd of both Christians, Muslims, traditional worshippers, atheists, or whatever? You know, you have people who are from different backgrounds. And when I find myself in those space, I I craft the message to fit them, right? And one of the things that are easily that people easily connect to is peace, inner peace, right? Everybody wants peace in their life, and everybody, regardless of how happy we seem to be, are dealing with one thing or the other, right? These things that we deal with, they could be some of them are emotional. You know, some of them are stuff that has been there over time. A lot of us are emotional wrecks. A lot of us are depressed. A lot of people are finding peace in places they are not going to see it. And what we can do is redirect them. So what I try to do when I find myself in spaces like that is I talk about finding inner peace. I talk about their issues. I talk about how the world is a place where it is quite difficult to maintain peace. But how do you really maintain this peace within yourself? And that's by looking inward. And if you're able to find peace, if you're able to take away peace from the material things, like remember I told you before that most of the times we try to find peace in our achievements, right? But if we're able to take away peace, that's mindset from putting it from finding peace from the things that are external to finding peace within us, then we will forever remain peaceful. And when we talk about this peace within, it's almost more or less like contentment. You are contented with what you have at the time. You're contented with the level of happiness that you have at the time. You're contented with the level of life that you have at the time. Most of the times when I guide meditation, I tell people to observe their breath. And when they do, I tell them that, I remind them that that breath that they breathe, that's the first gift they have gotten. They paid nothing for it. And without that breath, they are nothing. They won't be here today. And I try to tell them to appreciate the fact that you have this gift, right? When we have ourselves, when we are able to tell people, bring people to the realization that regardless of how bad your situation is, it is not as worse as the other person. Regardless of how bad things are for you, it is not final. You have peace within and you can be contented with what you are and who you are and where you are at the moment, because it is only when you're contented with this point that you would be able to think properly and move ahead. Because most of the times people keep going around circles because they are trying to reach for a goal that is too high for them. They haven't appreciated and reflected on where they are at the moment, why they are there, and how they can get out. And it is only a mind that is thankful, a mind that is grateful, that can take account of what they have done over the past few days, few months, few hours, and say, oh, I think I have done this well, I've done that well, I've done this well, and done that well. And if you're able to sit down and take an account of your life and appreciate yourself for the good that you have done, regardless of how bad things have been. You appreciate yourself for the good you have done. Some kind of oxytocin, some kind of what do you call it? This adrenaline will be pumped into you to achieve more. Because for those little things that you appreciate yourself for, more can be achieved, right? And so that's how I try to, package the message. When I find myself among students, I try to encourage them, talk to them about attaining success, shunning violence, and all that. So what I do most times is I adapt the message according to the crowd that I have, according to the audience that I have.
Okay. And maybe you can share one very memorable or transformative experience that you have had while teaching meditation that really stands out.
Yes, I think one of these days I went to a school. Sorry, I think I have a call. Sorry, I think I have a call. Let me put off before. Stop. Sorry. I think one of these days I went to a school and I went to a school to teach. And while I was teaching, I'm trying to look for the do not disturb button. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's on. Why is the call coming in? Yeah. So we went to a school to teach, right? Um, that day, my car had a lot of issues. I almost didn't make it to that event that day. It spoiled on the road. I fixed it. It went further. It spoiled. I fixed it. So when I got to the school, you know, I just drew on the particular things that happened to me that day to teach, telling them how endurance, perseverance, and all that can lead to success. That if I hadn't persevered, if I had changed my mind the very moment I went left, the very moment I started having challenges, I wouldn't have been here because that day I was trying to teach them. I was teaching them about being focused and being and working on whatever they have dreamed about until they achieve it. So I used what I went through that day to teach them. Obviously, that was not what I wanted to teach them that day, but I felt like I had a life that I just lived that I can, use to teach them. And it was very useful. And by the time I finished, during the meditation section, some people were crying. Some people were crying because while I was also teaching, I also talked about letting go of things and all that. And a lot of people were crying. And when they were sharing their meditation experience, they started talking about people that had wronged them over time that they didn't let go. And that this, as we started meditating and I asked them to let go of all that, that it was hard for them, but immediately they let go, they felt this relief. A lot of these testimonies here and there, it moved me. It moved me because that day was transformative. One thing that keeps people very, very much in one place is when you hold on to grief and grievances and all that. It's like holding someone back. If somebody is supposed to go somewhere and you hold that person back, it means that two persons haven't gone anywhere, you and the person, because you have to remain in one position to hold one person back in that position, right? So it was very, very important to me because that day I could have gone back home. I could have gone back home, and these people that were free from this burden they have carried for years would have not been free that day. And so I decided that regardless of what happens, whenever I need to go speak to anybody, regardless of the challenge, regardless of the issue, I would have to go because somebody, just one person, maybe is seated in that audience who needs the message. And if it's only that one person that I came for, then it's good enough.
Oh, that's a very wonderful story. It's actually similar for me that even when one person shows up for a session, I'm very happy.
Yes, yes. Even if it's one person, it's good enough. It's good enough.
Mhm. And for someone who is very new to meditation, what would be your advice how to start meditating and incorporating meditation practice into everyday life?
Yes. Well, for also someone like me who was also new to meditation at some point, um, I would tell you that it is not a difficult thing to do. It is not difficult. It is not hard. But all you need to do is you need to free your mind. You need to first kill the myth that this is religious or this is any form of practice. It is just you being able to close your eyes and take some deep breath in, focusing your mind on one particular thing at the time. And believe me, if you do that over and over, you start practicing, you realize that you get deeper and you get better experiences. Now, when you meditate, one of the things that you need to first take away from yourself is expectation. Do not go into meditation expecting that, oh, it will be great or it is going to be wonderful. It's going to be a great session. It's going to be, no, don't go into meditation having this expectation. Just go into meditation with that mindset that you want to take some deep breath and relax your mind. When that is your aim, when that is your goal, then the experiences will come as you go deeper. So all you have to do as someone who is starting meditation is be able to find a comfortable sitting position, sit comfortably so that you are not distracted by the pain that comes from your sitting posture, and then close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And if it is only those deep breaths that you take for the while, if those were the only things you were able to do for the first session, that's enough. Come back tomorrow, do the same thing, come back the next day, keep going. By the time you keep going, you start discovering that you will get deeper and your experience will get more profound, right? So with meditation, consistency is the key. If you're consistent in practicing it 5 minutes every day, before you know it, you won't know when you have started doing 1 hour. But if you do 1 hour today and in the next 3, 4 days, you don't do 1 hour, you don't do anything again, you discover that by the time you come on the fourth day, it seems as if you're starting the process all over. But if you're consistent in gradually building your tempo from 5 to 10 to 15 to 18 to 20, 25, 30, gradually you will get very deep in it and then you will understand it. Another thing I would also advise is don't try to understand it. It's not something you understand. It's not something you start reasoning, oh, what is this? Oh, this. Don't try to understand it. I mean, everybody understands closing their eyes and taking deep breath. That's the most important thing. If you can do that, start with that, and gradually you start observing, taking the mantra, observing and imagining the meditation object. But if you can just start with closing your eyes and taking some deep breath, that's your starting point.
Mhm. Okay, I think very good advice. And my final question is, how has meditation influenced your personal and also professional life?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier about how I have used it in my career, um, meditation has influenced me generally, right? Uh, Before now, I used to be a very happy kid. I used to be very happy as a child, right? Very, very happy. But adulthood took that happiness from me. And, I wasn't very sorrowful, but I wasn't also as happy as I used to be. But I discovered that I got a lot cranky with things, with my siblings, always wanting them to be appreciative and whatnot. But with meditation, I began to learn better ways of handling my issues personally, emotionally, so both in my relationship, both in my life, But I will give you a story. Um, for long, for long since the year, in fact, not just since the year, I think that since I started, since I became, how do I put it now? From being a child, right? I hawked. I don't know if you know what hawking means. Carry goods on your head and walk around for people to buy. Yeah, so I hawked as a child. In fact, I hawked until I finished college. Yeah. So um, while that was going on, I felt like I was a co-provider for the family. But when time came for things to happen to us, my mom never treated me as someone who has been helping the family. She usually helps or do things for my siblings more than she would do for me. So for the longest of time, I was not happy with her. I didn't have any connection with her. Didn't I always didn't relate with her. I can call her only once in a year and she'll be fine and me too will be fine. She will not also call me except she needs anything. And that was the relationship we kept for years until last year when we came back from Himawan, I lost my dad. And of course, automatically I become her husband, right? Because I have to take care of her. And I realized that I can't take care of her by just calling her once a year or only when she calls me, right? I needed to start doing something. Now, it was meditation that helped me deal with that anger that I had for her, that resentment that I had for her. Meditation softened my mind. And alongside with the practice and teachings of the Better Me model, I was able to um, apply core, right? I was able to apply core to my relationship with my mom. And today I can tell you that as it goes, anytime I stay 2 days, at least 2 days without calling her, she's going to call me to say, "Hey, how are you? I've not heard from you. Are you fine?" She's going to call me. But before we could stay a year without speaking to each other. So that's the transformative power of meditation. It helps you soften your mind, gives you clarity on what is happening, and you begin to reason things differently. You begin to see reasons, not faults, right? Begin to see reasons why things happen and not faults. You begin to blame people less for why things are the way they are. And you begin to appreciate the little moments you have and share, right? It has helped me in that aspect, is that it has helped me in my relationship with my siblings. I know at some point they got resented because they got resentful because I was providing for them and I felt like they should respect, they should be able to give back. But the way I was going about it wasn't right. But with meditation and the things I've learned, I began to apply it to my relationship with them. And these days, they see that I am softer. I am not stupid, but I handle the problem differently. And it helps build relationship. It helps build better bonds, both in family, in career, and otherwise.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And yes, we
Yeah.
actually have 3 minutes left in Zoom meeting, so I think we'll end here. And yes, thank you for joining and sharing.
Thank you, Kunigan. All right.